This is Allison Bolshoi, contralto and opera singer, wishing everyone the best on Rock On Radio.
Well,
hello there.
Here we are again.
We are.
In the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment.
Very exciting.
Yes. Bruce is gone. He was here quite a while.
He was.
Our guest must have an allure for Bruce. He must be Bruce, like a Bruce magnet.
That's right. That's good.
Yeah. It's nice to see Bruce stay. Usually I just figured,
Oh, that's you.
I offended him in some way, shape, or form, so he...
It's a good bet.
So...
I think you revel in that.
True story. I'm not happy with his answer. That's all I have to say.
Last shall we first?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm waiting.
Offer it up.
I'm waiting for that first. Well, yeah, I guess I got to wait till they
you're
kick
last.
off.
It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are in the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment. Madison is here.
You feeling better, Madison?
Madison has...
Yes, thank goodness. Actually, after I left early last week, like 2 days later, it all came flooding back, and I had to go on a second round of antibiotics.
Yuck.
I know.
That
Ridiculous.
stinks.
It was because I went out in the sun. I got too cheeky. I was like, oh, I'm totally feeling better. Let me just go sit in my friend's pool all day. And then that night, I got no sleep. But here I am.
The sunshine didn't help you? I thought sunshine's supposed to help you.
Usually, but I think because it's happened to me before. When I'm on antibiotics, for some reason, I just become allergic to the sun. I didn't get sunburn or anything, but I just got no sleep that night and thought I was dying. But I wasn't.
And here you
now
are.
I'm better than ever. Yep. Thank goodness.
Well, good. Yay. Madison's back.
Woohoo.
I'm sorry, you're looking at me like I did something wrong.
Would you like my diagnosis of this situation?
No,
Madison?
I don't want your diagnosis. Misdiagnosis.
No, that's her. Misdiagnosis.
Yeah, not usually. I haven't been sick in like a year and a half. I'm such a vitamin person. Like, I take my vitamins every day religiously. Vitamin C, the whole works. But this time I just couldn't beat it. I caught it in New York. It was some mega virus. Probably caught it on the
Brooklyn?
subway. No, haven't been to Brooklyn in a while, actually. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Well, baking soda's best for something like that.
Yeah,
Personally,
I was dying.
What I think you should have done.
I want to know.
Madison, this is between A and B. See your way out of this conversation. Madison.
Danny.
I think you should have, no matter how bad you felt, got in your vehicle or arranged for someone to pick you up and drive to the shore, put your feet in the water and your rear end on a beach chair in the sand, and just let the salt and the sea air. When I was a kid, like in my teens and early 20s, and I got a cold, I immediately went down to Point Pleasant, Seaside, Belmar.
Well, I wanted to. That was my plan because this was July 4th weekend. Like, I got sick again.
It was hot,
the Friday before July 4th. Yeah, it was the heat wave. And the friend I was supposed to go with, she was coming from New York City, and she doesn't have a driver's license. So I was going to be taking us. But then I literally was bedridden for the 4th of July. And imagine that.
Well, then you just take a bath in salt. That's all. That's what I do.
It's not the same.
It
Not the same.
I was
You
so
don't have a
dehydrated, I
salt
probably
there.
would have turned into a friggin' potato chip if I got any more salt.
Oh, there's an analogy for you. There's a vision.
Anything's possible.
Madison chips.
It happens.
They come. If you were potato chip Madison, what flavor would you like to be?
Honey barbecue.
All right. There you
All day. All day, every day, baby.
go. All right. And there you have it. You heard it here first on Rock On Radio, which is sponsored by O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey. They're the official caterers of Rock On Radio. Lillipais of Princeton, located inside the Princeton Shopping Center at 301 North Harrison Street. Lillipais makes exactly that. Lillipais. Now, I saw some, because it's like their 10th anniversary this year.
Okay.
Lillipais.
Okay.
And some friend of Jen's that she's known since they were kids was doing some YouTube video for her.
Okay.
He called it Lily Pies.
Okay.
And she didn't correct him. I was always told it was Lily Pies.
Well, they're
We could have a sponsor
little...
controversy. Yeah, they're little pies. So you don't say, give me one of them lily pads.
Okay, well, tomato. Some people, right? Carmen.
That would be like, yeah, Carmen or Carmine.
Carmine, right. Well, it's not mine, is M-I-N-E, really. So, Carmine.
I'm neutral. Just don't call me Earl.
The big ragu.
That's exactly what I thought when I heard of Carmine.
Oh, boy. Anyway, Little Pies of Princeton, located inside the Princeton Shopping Center.
Right.
Phoenix Art Supply and Framing. They are on Route 611, otherwise known as Southeastern Road in Doylestown, PA. Jenny Schaefer has been doing quality framework and selling fantastic art supplies for more than 41 years. Phoenix Art Supply and Framing. Code 3 Animal Rescue Transport.
You are doing so well.
Yes.
So proud.
And they are code3.org?
Code3rescue.org. You'll get there. That's right. And do you see, there was a couple pictures of the dog flying the airplane, or at least by the I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I think
I shared it out.
We're on to something here.
They're learning how to fly. That's right. They fly themselves home.
Code 3 Animal Rescue Transport.
Mm-hmm.
They teach animals how to fly Black Hawk helicopters. Yes. Yes.
What kind of animals?
Oh, all kinds of animals.
Really?
Huskies primarily.
I'm sorry. You have to understand who you're talking to.
That's okay. I have a pet chipmunk.
That's so cool. They're so fun.
About 15 years ago, there's this chipmunk lived in my backyard, kept coming to the back door looking for like salad, or he would jump up and eat tomatoes right off the plant. You know what I named this chipmunk? Thelonious.
Ooh, I like that.
You're more than welcome to take it.
I might. Well, we have a little family right now. It started off with Giuseppe, who I have video. You can't see it on radio, but I could show you a video of me petting him.
Fun.
It's
Oh.
great. And so we have Giuseppe, we have Beyonce, and then we have Tito and Michael.
Oh,
Not
And I can handle everyone except Michael, ironically, but he's the only one that I can't touch. But
you got wheat germ?
we use sunflower seeds,
Oh,
just raw shucks so they don't make a mess.
I'm sorry, I meant germaine.
Oh,
Hey, speaking of the Jacksons, Madison, you missed the big dance display.
Oh my!
Last week.
You really didn't miss it much. No. No,
What?
they asked him about dancing.
And you told him you're an expert?
No, he just
I
showed
proved that I'm
You showed them you're an expert.
them your Thriller move to every single song ever written.
Wow.
They wanted to know if I could do the Thriller move from the video
Oh, I'm familiar.
to
I did the full choreographed dance in middle school as an 8th grader.
I think
Dressed
this is
up
going to
and
be real interesting when this is over. I'm going to have to make you all go into some sort of choreographed thing.
there you go. Well, they wanted to know if I could do that to the Ave Maria.
I want to know if you can do that.
I
That
did
sounds
it.
pretty challenging.
Unfortunately, Madison's camera was not rolling because
Yeah,
she
man.
chose to abandon me at this
Oh
moment.
my God! Then I don't know if I believe it.
No, I could vouch for you.
We'll put them in touch with them guys. Yes. So anyway, Code 3 Animal Rescue Transport. If you want to save a husky,
You could
Or-
you could foster or you can adopt.
and their website is,
Code3rescue.org.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Dee Dee's Lights. Dee Dee is the official chandler of Rock On Radio. She makes all of the candles that we place in our charitable donations and gift bags. go to dd'slights.com. The Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation, jsjbf.org. Claire and I will be hosting emceeing the August 29th Long Branch Jazz and Blues Festival. So come on out and say hello. We will be there as members of the Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundations. And by the way, the Zemlarian requests our presence.
Does she now? I know we wanted. It was just her birthday. I thought she leave poor Christine alone. Yes, she does want to. We want them to get together. Yes.
Yes, it was her birthday. Many happy reruns to Christine Zemla of the Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation. Asbury Park Vibes. Go to AsburyParkVibes.com. If you are a band, solo artist, realtor, anybody who needs a photographer for headshots, live pictures or videos of your band, website bios, press releases, AsburyParkVibes.com. Along with NewJerseyStage.com, the finest arts and entertainment magazine that covers everything arts and entertainment in the Garden State and beyond. NewJerseyStage.com. Sinister Footwear, SinisterFW.com. Go there and check out the crazy, wild, zany socks that Cena tells. That Tina sells. And at the end, at checkout, use the promo code DCRSOCKS, and you will get 10% off of your order.
Yes.
Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something?
You probably are.
Good point.
Tyndall Road.
Oh, our beer provider. The official beer provider of Rock On Radio, Tyndall Road Brewing. My nephew was there. Sam's son.
Okay.
Not Samson, but Sam's son, Sammy, was there. He was there and checked out Danny's pick. He goes, is yours the one that says Danny's pick? No. Yes, it's the one that says Danny's pick. So go to Tyndall Road Brewery. They're located 102 Farnsworth Avenue in Bordentown City, New Jersey. They are the official beer provider of Rock On Radio. And then we have Terry Barber, who I forgot about last week, the touring artist.
Right for FIFA.
This Friday night, he'll be singing that national anthem.
Oh, nice.
At the Mexican Palace, or the Palace of Mexico, whatever their White House is. That's what he'll be singing with the three tenors.
Nice. American. The three American.
The Americas. You got North America, South America, Latin America. Yeah.
In the middle. Middle America.
Yeah, because you got Canada, the United States, and Mexico.
Oh, okay.
They're all going to come together and do that sort of thing.
Oh, so in all North America.
Yes. I forget what it's called. I have to look it up. But
something American.
You get the point. That's right. So how can they find us, Claire?
You go to DCROR.com, which is a short link for Danny Coleman's RockOnRadio.com.
Instagram at Rock On Radio, all one word, all capital letters. Now, before I introduce our guest, Claire and I talked about this today on our long and arduous trek through the hinterlands to get to the hinterlands. Hey, by the way, do you see who's
Hey, by the way.
Hey, by the way, do you see who's
Wait, what?
Do you see who is not the headliner, but the act just before the headliner for the Sourland Music Festival?
No, I did not.
Jake Thistle.
Very cool. Okay. Nice.
Correct.
Well, was he on when we did the Sourland Mountains during COVID? Wasn't he a guest?
I don't remember.
I was thinking
But Jake is that, so we wish him luck.
Nice.
On that event. Now, I have to say this, and then I promise I will introduce you. Madison, I got a very sad text today. My 4th grade teacher passed away.
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Now, for
at
those,
least you were in contact with her.
Right.
Before.
Every Monday morning.
I'd set my alarm for 7:30 a.m. And at 8 o'clock, we would talk to each other every Monday. And this is only after years of searching for her.
Yeah.
And it was last year when my friend passed away that his brother had kept in touch with her and a couple other of the teachers from our elementary school. And he said he talked to her once a month, once every 6 weeks. And I said, I've been looking for a way to reach out to her since I graduated high school. 40-some years, I'm looking, I could never figure out where she was. So fortunately, I was able to have dialogue with her for almost a year every Monday before she passed away. But I got an email several weeks back from somebody, I have no idea who it was from her email account saying she's in the hospital, everything's fine, they don't expect her to be long. Well, she never came home.
Wow.
So she just passed away this morning.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh.
Actually.
That's awful.
Did you ever have somebody as an educator or a mentor that really left an impression on you?
Yeah.
And this woman, I was in 4th grade, and this woman said to me, like, she had this reputation of being a real tough teacher. And she was very patient. If you did what you were supposed to, she loved you. If you did not obey the rules or you tried to step outside the lines or disrespect her in any way, she was tough. She did not take guff from anyone. When I was in 4th grade, I went there in fear, thinking, oh, no, I got Keck. Oh, no, Miss Keck, she got to... And she wound up being the single hugest, largest influence in my education that I ever had.
Interesting.
4th grade. 4th grade, she had us do a creative writing.
Exercise.
Thank you. That's what I'm looking for, exercise. And she picked mine for whatever reason to read in front of the class. And after class, she kept me back. Before you go home, I want to talk to you. I'm thinking, oh, no, this is it. Thinking I just did something good with you. But she pulled me aside. She said, if you keep using your imagination like that, one day you're going to be a writer.
Huh.
She said, you write the way you speak. Don't ever lose that.
And you didn't. You still do that.
And I still do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did go on to become a writer for the Trentonian newspaper. I did their music column. And I still, for New Jersey Stage, I still write.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear of her passing made me very sad. Her married name was Keck. She wound up getting divorced. She was only in her early 30s when she told me.
Wow, she must have been like 100.
She seemed it. How old are you in 4th grade? 9?
Yeah.
10?
Yeah, so she must be like 100 now.
Yeah, 10, I think.
Yeah. No,
Wow.
but she was 86 years old and she passed away this morning. I don't know I don't know what, but the gentleman who put me in touch with her told me that whenever he did talk to her, she was thrilled to death that so many of her students from 4th grade told her what a great impression she made on them.
That's amazing.
And the funny thing is now, I wasn't, Danny Coleman. She wasn't Miss Keck. She's like, after the first, I was like, Mrs. Keck, whoa, stop right there. You're what now, 60-some years old? I'm Mary Jane. And that's what she was, Mary Jane Campbell. So thank you, Mary Jane Campbell, for everything you ever did for me.
God
Yes.
bless.
And the things you didn't even know that you did for me. So with that put aside.
May she rest in peace.
Amen.
Yes. Please. He's here. He's got a new album.
Yay.
And last time he was here was At Yardville First Aid
That's
Squad.
right. So we're probably like
Well, that
2,
was
3 years
Yardville,
ago.
where you were.
I was one of the last. I think
Yes.
I've been talking
Yeah.
about that it was going to be moving.
I literally live like 3 minutes from there.
Yeah, yeah.
So please welcome back to Rock On Radio, Mr. Carmen Sclafani of Wiser Time Music.
Thank you.
How are
Pleasure
you,
to be
my
back.
friend?
Yay.
Good. It's a pleasure to be back and spend some time with y'all.
Listen, I mentioned Bruce being here, and then
Mm-hmm.
he stuck around longer than he has been, because he's undergoing some things.
Sure.
But the way I see what happened here, that was borderline harassment. So you want me to have him removed earlier? If that was-
No, that's
Oh,
okay. We're all good. He's
All
a beautiful creature.
Madison
Beautiful
can
human.
have that done.
We'll take up counsel later, but I think he's a beautiful human.
Oh God! Now he's going to hear this. Oh.
You're going to be put in a different corner.
I'm going to be in a
now.
different
You're
corner.
inside
That's
the
right.
door.
He's
See?
gonna face the wall.
He just turned me around.
Right.
Fine.
Behave yourself.
Threats. And who have you brought with you, Mr. Carmen?
Have a friend of mine, Sandra, who took the photos for my record.
Ah. So you're a photographer.
Would be.
I could be. All right. So you are here, yes, because you have a new record. So
Yes.
all right, let's just start right there. Go ahead.
Why are we going to start? What would you like to
Tell
start
me
with?
about the record. What made you put it out? How long did it take you to write it?
Wow. Well,
Well,
it's-
because the first time you ever came on this show,
Mhm.
you were with Jimmy Soma.
That's right. Yeah, Jimmy died.
Right, and he passed away.
This has been a horrible year, and Jimmy's passing was just another thing to kind of put on it. And, when I came here last year, I was promoting a very different record. It was a rock record. And still trying to, I take great pride in, I love rock and roll, and I would love to just make fun rock and roll records, but I take pride in the fact that when it comes time to at least have a voice or talk about some things, that I've never really shied away from going down some roads that, record people would say, you don't just shut up and play music and don't talk about it. But I don't, my heroes were the Dylans and the Marley. They were the Stones and Jimmy Page and things like that. But the people that really are in my veins, they're the people that use music, as we were talking earlier, because of the power of it. And the power of it is also to have fun, but sometimes there's more than just fun. And so last year's record, All Fired Up, certainly there were tinges of the times, but it was a fun rock and roll record, and I had fully expected to kind of keep going and down that zone until the political landscape changed. And so I was really devastated by what we have done to ourselves with our choices. And it has nothing to do with politics, in my opinion. It has nothing. That's the biggest con that's going on right now. It has nothing to do with politics, and it has to do with ethics and morals. And I wrote this record after about 3 days of just really in a dark emotional place. I got up and said, this is the time to just come at this topic. And I started writing the record at the end of November, and I had it written, and it just came, like almost like every song came with the emotion. Like I wrote them almost exactly in the track order, to be quite honest with you, and having to sort out that emotion. And I had finished writing it in about 3 weeks. And this is before the inauguration, anything, because you knew what was going to happen. You knew it. And I wrote about it even before things happened, the pardons, all of it. And I came into this, my mindset this may sound ambitious or silly or whatever, but my mindset was, this is going to be my Nebraska, my Bruce Springsteen Nebraska. Like, I'm going to put everything I have into the songs, and I want to strip back the production because I feel the power is in the words. And I wanted to make, it's a homegrown record, really. And I went down to my friend's place, has a small little cabin not far from me. And within 3 days, I pretty much recorded. I started January 3rd recording the record. And I was done within 2 weeks of me doing all my acoustics and my singing. And then it took about a year, even though I didn't overly produce the record and it's very stripped down, I still have accents. And so it took a little time for my guys to kind of be in town, because most of these cats are touring musicians and things like that anyway. So it was just me working acoustically and then waiting for people to be available and doing it in such a way. The only person other than myself who's really on every song is Andy Hess on bass.
Okay.
And Andy is a beautiful human, incredibly talented. Anyone that knows all the projects he's done. He was so gracious and working with me. He understood where I was coming from, and so many cats, especially at that level, when they can, their first call, touring guys, session guys, they don't have to put in that time and care, bless you, of, it's, whatever, it's 300 songs. He wasn't like that at all. He's like, don't worry about that, just let's get this right. And then you had to hit the road for a little while, would come back. So it was just waiting a little bit and slowly working on it. And then what happened was I was home. So I was really kind of editing this from home. And just, again, it's so stripped down. I'm like, I'm not going to go into big studios. And I'm just going to do this in this kind of homegrown Nebraska-esque style, I felt like, And then Rob Flores put some piano down, and Gary Oliar with a little bit of fiddle.
Oh, Gary did fiddle for
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Gary's playing fiddle. Gary's one of my favorite people. I've known Gary for so long, and he, I'm really blessed, I feel, at this point in my life. I've been making records, for 20-something years now, and, playing and recording for, more decades than I can probably remember. But I have a great core now of people that, they're my guys, so there's a sound that comes with it too. And I'm really blessed that, I know and have the respect of guys like Gary, because they just add so much to what, what you do. And they're so smart, cats like this, it's so easy to overplay being studio guys and thinking, especially if you're a young studio guy, and thinking that, you have to go in there and prove that you can do all these things. And then people like Andy or a Rob or a Gary, they're so seasoned. They play to a song rather than saying, let me show you my gymnastics or something like that. And it's just so incredible to work with. And so finally got it done towards the end of last year. And I just wanted to wait until the new year came to release it, so that it was a now record instead of a last year record. And that's it. I'm really getting I'm excited about the feedback that I've gotten from real legitimate music journalists and whatnot. Glad about the radio plays and things that starting to get, and I'm hitting the road a little bit now. I'll be doing more radio shows. I'll be in Tennessee and Knoxville and Nashville in September. Be out in Arizona and Mesa doing some things. So I'm really making an effort now, more than I have in the past, to get out there, because I haven't, as we were discussing earlier, I love playing, but I don't. My days of chasing, the whole, I don't care about playing, a gig necessarily and lugging the thing and worrying about, like, it has to be the right kind of situation for me to want to go out and put that effort in. Or I would rather just write and produce records and work on the records. I'm a producer. I distribute records through my digital partner, and so I'd rather just be all encompassing in art and music rather than, trying to chase it at this stage of my life. But right now,
And you've earned that right to do that.
thank you. I do feel comfortable in that, but right now is the time. Like, and I say this, I'm much older now than I was back. I'm not a young kid anymore, but this is the time. Like in my life, if you are a songwriter, there's plenty of time to sing about girls or parties or whatever, whatever your thing is. But now is the time to use the song and the power of music as an important element, not just to get you through a breakup or entertainment, but like, again, the way a Bob Dylan or something used it. That's where I'm at right now. And so I want to get out there and just push this record. And I feel the songs, tell the story, exactly what I want to say. You're either gonna, there's some parts of it I think people will really love, and then there's other parts of it that you will be offended, and I don't care. Like I wrote some of these things.
You've also earned that right.
Exactly, and even if I haven't earned that right, I got something to say. And as an artist, I feel like that is our right as an artist, is to speak about things if you choose.
Right. Well, what's the name of the album?
The record's called "There's a Change A-Comin'."
Okay. So go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just.
My question was going to be, now I realize that music is more readily available than visual art or sculptures or things like that. Music is more readily available. All you got to do is flip a switch. Or, if I wanted to go see live music, I can go to any coffee shop or any bar or any restaurant, any concert ticket,
Sure.
the Stone Pony. I can go anywhere.
See it online.
Art,
Yeah.
right. Art, I need to see in a gallery if I want to appreciate it. So why is it? And I could be right or I could be wrong, or it could be subjective. There's no real answer here.
Well, that's good, so I can't get it wrong then.
Correct. But why do you think it is that people, like, you look at the controversy that Springsteen started for himself, and you look at all these other Hollywood stars and people who speak out about certain things, and you hear people, and rightfully so, say, you know what, just stick to entertaining me. I don't care what you think. And then on the other hand, but like with music, people listen to the lyrics. Most of the time, people get them wrong, get the interpretation wrong, because it's a very, as I said, subjective art. And I always like to use the example of when Melissa Etheridge, her first big single of "Like the Way I Do." Here, I'm thinking she's talking about relationship with a man. Who knew? I didn't know she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
And why would I?
Especially then, it was more of closet, keeping sexuality, and I mean, there's so many things we still keep private, but certainly back then, what you're talking about, it was less.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known
Sure.
that she was talking about a woman as opposed to a man.
Sure.
But it didn't stop me from listening to "Like the Way I Do."
Great song.
But when you sit back and you think, like when artists express themselves, you have the advantage of being able to turn it off as easy as you have the advantage of turning it on.
Sure.
So I guess, like, I can't look at a Rodin and criticize it because, in the words of Dr. Phil, what was he thinking? But I can listen to Wiser Time music and say, what the heck's he trying to say? And it's like they're two different realms. Like, musicians and music seem to be interpreted harshly, or
well, I think in
not
some
so-
regards, to your point, there's an element. It's communication, really. When you use word, you're saying something, so you are communicating in a more direct and clear way, as opposed to if you're looking at a piece of art, now you must interpret it in a way.
Right.
There's no one giving you speaking to you directly about what you should be feeling. You look at it, you process it, and then you feel, or you don't feel anything. You feel something or you feel nothing. And it's the same thing with music, but again, you may not feel, like that's the beauty of music. It doesn't matter whether it was from the 60s or the 70s or classical or whatever, or what's popular today. The moment you hear something and that vibration hits you, you're drawn to it. You know what I mean? Right. When I was growing up as a kid in the 80s, that's the popular music and you do your thing. But the moment I heard the Rolling Stones, the riff, or, Jimmy Page or Stevie Ray Vaughan, it hit me in a manner that said, I have to make music my life. I have to pick up a guitar now, or and that's a feel, that's vibration. But a lyric, right, or a word, whether I'm singing it or speak to you, like if I said to you when we came in the room, it was a greeting. I said, "Hey, how are you?" That's an immediate response. But if I sat there and you came in and I just looked at you, you'd have to interpret my feelings.
I
like
would
how
have to
would
become judgmental.
You have to now come, well, what's he trying to say to me?
Right.
So I think that's, to your question, words are, unless you, cloak them in some ambiguity of some sort of thing, which I love. That's something I love about the writing process of songs. And I think for me personally in my career, that's, I think, what I'm most proud of is, I can write it and have written many, what I will just say, dumb rock song, just fun, dumb rock. But then I've also had things, and I don't always get this, but I have some things that I feel are poetry, that are not, this is not a normal song. Like an After I'm Gone, that was from my last record, let's say. That's art to me, and I was on a Garden State Radio and when I put the record out, and Mike was asking me about that, and he said to me, he goes, that song is art. And I was like, oh, thank you for just saying that, because I really viewed it that way, So I think that's the thing is communication, lyrically, vocally, when we speak, we communicate easier. It's easier to understand because there's less of an interpretation, unless you, again, paint it in some poetic thing with some double entendre or whatever you want to do, right. And in this case of this new record, I'm just coming right at you. I'm coming right at you with, the times. And, and like I said, from a standpoint of ethics and morals, it has nothing to do with politics. People would think from this record that I'm like off the liberal thing, and I'm not. I'm a very conservative person by nature. But this has nothing to do with what we are in and what we have done to ourselves. Right.
Oh, yeah. Believe me.
So, I would love to, like I said, a year ago, I expected to come back here talking about another fun rock and roll record and telling you I was going to go, open for whoever at the Pony or whatever and be the band. Now I want to get out there and talk. And like I said, my inbox gets filled with, some people are like, way to go, man. And then other people are like, I don't want to get into some of the hate that comes through, but, it is what it is, man. And like I said, this is one of those records, and this is why I'm really proud of it, and I don't know if you've seen any of the reviews that have come in, but like, a cat like Lee Zimmerman, who's a really well-known music historian in the field of Americana and folk, for a cat like that to say the things he said about my record, and in 26 years of me recording records has never given me any mind, and he was the first person to come back and review the record, and I wept, to be quite honest with you, because he again, when somebody gets it, that's when you just like, and in making that record, we were talking about Jimmy and dying, my former bandmate. The challenge of this past year, between being so emotionally, I'm still not right, to be quite honest with you. Like the letting go, like there's still times for the last year when I would be listening to the record because I hadn't played those songs outside of those couple of weeks when I first recorded them. I didn't pick up a guitar then. It was just producing the record and listening over and over and just being caught in this emotional place. And then, you know, my friend gets into a car accident and I have to, you know, almost gets killed. I'm taking care of her. And then Jimmy Soma, you know, has a heart attack, you know, unexpectedly. Like, it's just so much emotion that went into this. But I'm so proud of the result, and just proud of, as Lee said in his review of that record, you know, and I say this humbly with gratitude to Lee, but like, you know, when he's talking about I'm going down this roads as the dusty paths that Dylan went down, and I'm coming at it, like I'm leaning into it when it comes time to, you know, say it. I'm leaning into it, and I'm so glad and grateful that there are people like that out there that recognize it. And I hope, you know, the last thing he said was, if there's going to be like a folk protest, you know, revival, this is the record that should kick it off. You know what I mean? And
nice.
When someone like that acknowledges that or affirms that, it's not for ego or anything. It's just to say, I did it. And despite all of the challenges I had to go through, I did it and had the courage to do it. You know, I'm still dealing, like I said, now with people filling the inbox, or, you know, there are times where, like, you know, you immediately, like, I'm an artist that is very tangible in way. Like, I don't have millions of fans or streams. So, like, when I lose a third of my fan base, I see it immediately. Like, all of a sudden, like, your Pandora and your everything just dropped, like, because they're pissed. You know, they want me to do Back for More, or Give You My Lovin', or Hammer Down, or Love and Devotion, or On Our Way. You know, they don't want to hear Cold Hard World or Barabbas, or, you know, The People's House, because you have to look in the mirror and you have to answer those questions then that I'm telling you. You have to now reconcile that. And that's exactly, you know, I'm not trying to scold anyone or be what, well, no, I shouldn't say that. On this record, I am coming at certain people. And that's it. I mean, I can't really, I'm not going to defend it or anything like that. It's just, I think the power is in the songs, and I'm just real proud of it. And I hope, you know, it gets a little, I shouldn't even say it is getting some attention, and I've been real grateful that radio stations and people like yourself have been receptive, and, you know, little shows like the Blue Plate Special in Knoxville, like these things are lining up now, and so it's just now for me to, again, like put the boots on and do the work. You know, the real work starts now. You know, now that the record is done, now's the time to go out there and, you know, again, not trying to sound like a kid, but it's time to go be those troubadours now. Go out there and be the Woody Guthries, be the Pete Seegers, for real. Like, you don't go. This is the time. You know, like, we don't need to go. While the content is fuel, and it always will be, we don't need to sing Bob Dylan songs right now. We need to write new songs about the times that we're in, you know. And I had written this poem a long time ago, many years ago, when I had written this song called Looking for Bob Dylan. This is something I wrote when the Iraq War broke out in that period of time. And I started morphing from just a rock and roller into saying, I got to go into those zones and start talking about some things. And I had written a poem in addition to writing a song. I wrote this kind of poem first. And the last lines of that poem is as I'm speaking to songwriters, and, you know, the song was Looking for Bob Dylan, meaning like, where are you? What small corners, what bars are you hiding in, playing in, you know, Where is Bobby Dylan? Before he was Bob Dylan, he was Bobby Dylan in that corner with everyone is trying to figure out a path to how do you make a living as a, as a songwriter. And then it happened, and justifiably so because he did the work, So I had written this poem and saying, where are the songwriters? Where are you? Where is the Bobby Dylan? Because it's going to come, And the last line of the poem is, as I'm speaking to songwriters, I was saying, awake and come out now, because it is in these times of struggle that the greatness of men truly does show. And when the faces appear, they will not be carrying guns, they will be holding guitars. And that sums up exactly what this record that I just put out is about. Grab your guitar and say something. And if someone has a problem with it, if you can hear that on the mic.
Well, why don't we do some music off of this record?
Sure.
Which is called
There's a Change A-Comin'.
There's a Change A-Comin'. It was out on June 12th?
June 12th, put it out. And the title, if you want to segue into something maybe of one of the first songs, it's the second song I wrote on the record, and it's where the title of the record comes from. It's called 1963. Again, and the name even, there's a change a-comin'. I'm speaking very Dylan talk, the times they are a changing and whatnot. But 1963, I'm going to let people in a little bit. I don't want to, I want to let you experience kind of your own versions of it. But 1963 was such a huge year. It was the year of Bob Dylan's Freewheelin' Bob Dylan that changed the course of music forever. It was the civil rights movement. It was Martin Luther King. It was the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And to me, when I wrote that song, I was just, again, trying to encompass that spirit, because it's like, we've made so much progress, and now it's like zip, like what happened? Like what happened? And so that's where the title of the album came from, was from that track.
Okay. Well, if you're just tuning in, this is Rock On Radio. I have Carmen Sclafani of Wiser Time Music with me. This is a song off of his just released record, June 12th, and the song is called
1963.
Yes, all of the people who help those in need, who nurture and teach and aren't poisoned by greed, who seek light through the forest that gets lost in the trees, who pray for an answer still blowing in the breeze. There's a change coming, you'll see, in 1963. Stand up to injustice and turn from deceit. Protect the working man who's left stranded in the street. Feed the poor soul who has nothing to eat. Defend the right rise up from their feet in the land and home of the free, sweet place of liberty. In some country 'tis of thee, 1963. March for civil rights and protest the state. Scorn and transform the climate of hate. Don't bury the truth or kneel to the insane. Or muddy the roads others have worked to pave. And to those who came before me, to Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, Bobby D, to dear Dr. King and Mr. Kennedy. 1963.
Wiser time music. Carmen Sclafani
So nice. I love
here
that. Yeah.
on Rock On Radio. So, what was or was there a defining moment that made you sit down and say, "Yeah, I got to do this"?
It was the election. Period.
Okay.
November 18th, when it was very clear the enormous mistake and disgraceful mistake that we were about to understand. Again, this record, I talk about things that didn't even happen yet, but you knew they were going to happen. Because if you're following for real, if you turn off Fox News and get informed, you see right through it, And so I spent about 3 days in complete disgust and like shame, and then I said, get to work. And, plenty of bottles of wine and whatever, and it was just writing. And like I said, for 3 weeks, I mean, some of it, like I said, I'm still not right. Like some of it was actually dangerous, like to be in that heavy emotional state. And like I said, after the initial recordings, I didn't play those songs at all up until recently when I've had to go perform them at, certain radio shows or things like that. I couldn't even get through some of these songs because I'd be so emotionally attached, and then I would break down or whatever, So I'm definitely, like I said, I'm over it, the creative process now, and now I just kind of want to get out there, and talk about it. And like I said, get ready to deal with, obviously on different levels, but like when a Springsteen says he's going out there and doing it and says, I'm ready for the hate or what. Obviously, I'm not going to get it to that level because I don't have millions of fans or whatever, but I'm ready for it. And I'm dealing with it now and telling people, hey, or not respond, just not even giving you my time, And then there's other people that have pleasantly surprised me because I've had an impact on them. And I know they went the wrong way, in their choices of vote, but they came back and was like, man, your record, I like, there where some people were like, yeah, whatever, I used to like, unfriend, all that kind of, some of these cats have been like, well, well done, or I like that song very much. And like 1963, there's 2 songs on there. Well, I shouldn't say that, but because a lot of the songs are getting, their spins. But the 2 that have been becoming more, I guess, accepted, at least at this point on radio, probably for a couple of reasons, because they're more commercial and less in your face. But 1963, and then I Will Walk You Home, which is the last song on the record, and it's the last song I wrote. In fact, and I could say in some regards, I wanted to leave this record with such a finger-pointing record in some ways, in many ways. I wanted to leave it in a place of love and, in, let's say, what one would call Christian values. I pulled some things that I, as a kid growing up, now I don't necessarily relate or identify in certain ways now, not because of beliefs, or, I'm a spiritual person, but I don't really consider myself religious. It's the people that make me say I don't want to be so I consider myself more spiritual, but I was raised a Catholic, and there's so many things within, let's say, I Will Walk You Home. There's a lyric there. It says, I could take your hand and show you the path. If you're thirsty, I'll be the water that fills your glass. When you're tired and feel you no longer can, I'll be the footprints pressed beneath you, gentle in the sand. For me, when I was growing up, it was this poem of footprints that you just
right.
said. I didn't abandon you. That's when I carried you, kind of thing. And I wanted to leave the record in that positive message. And it actually started, like I said, wanting to kind of let go of some anger and angst that I was feeling. And then I just got hit with all of this stuff. Jimmy dying, my friend getting into the car accident, and all these things. And it was just like, I don't know, like death, and everything was just around me, and the seriousness of things that were going on with my friend. I just felt like, I got you. Like I said, footprints. I got you, and that was it. I still weep. Like I said, I still weep, at times getting through some of these songs. There's a song called If You Never See Me Again. It's real. I wrote that song. That song was written in January when the fires were happening out in California, and we were like, hey, well, who cares, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, this stuff's really happening. Again, wasn't even inaugurated. We're talking about how tariffs raised the bills and everything, and all, like, because you knew it was coming. If you tune out of Fox News, you knew what was coming. And so I wrote that song, again, in this timely place. It's a lovely song, but it's literally about me kind of saying goodbye, like to a lot of people, to a lot of relationships. And I think it's ironic because I am not, I'm a very sociable person, if you know me. Bless you. Mm-hmm. I'm a very sociable person, if you know me. And I think as long as you don't rub me the wrong way, I'm pretty likable and easygoing, and most people would say, oh, what a great, whatever. But I definitely just had to get this out, and there's a lot of people, like the social media thing, why I'm not antisocial, but just it's such a drain to have to be sociable all the time, you know, and I'm a writer. I need to be alone and kind of write. And then, you know, I tell people, do not text me. Like, I don't want my phone blowing up unless it's like, I'm outside, come and get me. Or like, I don't want you to go, hey, you know, like send me an email so that I could check it at my own pace, not have something pop up when I'm in the middle of something or whatever. And so, you know, I love interacting with people. I love interacting with people that I've touched somehow. You know, if I was your 4th grade teacher and you said, wow, Carm, your song. I love that when someone hits me up and says, you know, oh my God, you know, that song and whatever. You know, but then there's that other side of me that says, there's just some people, I think we all go through this in time. You know, when you're young, I think most people, you know, feel like, you know, I got a million friends, unless you're in one of those cliques that like you were picked on all the time. But most people feel like I got a bunch of friends and I'm popular and I'm this. And then, and social media enhances this now. We think we have thousands and thousands of friends and whatever, but we don't in reality. Like, we have acquaintances, and your friends are going to be there when you really need it, not just to say, oh, you look great, or look at your lunch. Like, that's all great and good. But I'm at this point now where, like, I'm not looking for relationship maintenance or, like, spending hours and hours and hours talking to people from high school that I love you, you know, but there's an element of like life that like I graduated, and it's not that I don't want to reconnect, but I can't. And like how many times I've gotten emails from people, you know, that go like, hey man, you know, that's incredible what you're doing, whatever. Hey man, I'm not one of those people that asks for tickets or things like that or whatever, but you think you can do, and I'm like, I haven't seen this person in 25 years, and now it's like, and again, you don't want to be a jerk about stuff, but it's just like I said, I just at this point, and that's where, let's say that song, If You Never See Me Again, I'm like I'm cutting things, I'm trimming the fat, you know, like this moment in time, I'm really just kind of digging in, you know, and maybe I'll lighten up a little bit in a year, but right now it's not raw like it was a year ago. But, you know, it's just harder and harder not to get frustrated and more frustrated every day, because it just gets worse and worse and worse. And you just, you know, like I said, I like being right now isolated, working on my home, working on records, and kind of being off the grid a little bit. I'm on the grid now because I want this record to be heard, and that's why I'm coming out there a lot. And, you know, I would love, in some perfect scenario, if Springsteen says, hey, you should be opening for us, then I'll go spend the next year on the road or whatever. But other than that, I just want to talk to people. I want to talk to you, get the record heard, and that's it, you know?
So I have
Oops. Yep.
so I have 2 questions.
Okay, take the phone. Take the microphone.
Number 1 is websites, social media. How do we find you and the record?
Well, you can find me anywhere you digitally. You may be Deco may be involved in doing some physical. We'll be discussing that maybe next week. But digitally, you can find Wiser Time anywhere you stream music, from Pandora's, YouTube's, Spotify's, wherever it is, Amazon, iHeartRadio, anything, anything. My website is, and all my social handles. I mean, I'm more Instagram and Facebook, but everything is Wiser Time Music. Nice. So Instagram at Wiser Time Music, Facebook at Wiser Time Music, wisertimemusic.com, YouTube at Wiser Time Music. So one of the benefits of being involved in the internet so early was that you had if you understood how it worked, you knew. Own the real estate, the name real estate. So early on, I have, the Wiser Time Musics, the Wiser Times, everything, and I don't have to be, wisertime1674.com
The real
or whatever
Wiser
it is, the official, or whatever. So
Now, let's do some more music.
Yeah.
okay.
All right, what do you want Claire to cue up?
Well, you want to keep it? I mean, there's a lot of lightness on this, but why don't we keep it a little fun right now, and then we can segue into a conversation. How about Billionaire Blues?
Okay.
Okay. Now, while she's pulling that up,
Mm-hmm.
there was a couple other questions I had. I want you to think about this. You can answer afterwards or before, because as you noticed, my job as a radio show host, or my personality on this program, is to let you speak.
Okay.
Okay, which I think I've done. You know, you're and
I talk too much, actually.
No, you don't.
No,
It's
just
fine.
fine.
You're doing beautiful. You're doing beautiful. But you said something back there that kind of caught me. You
Okay.
said you want to just have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I usually don't discuss religion and/or politics
Mhm.
on this program, but I saw a Threads post
Mm-hmm.
from the Pennsylvania governor, Josh Shapiro,
Mm-hmm.
who I think, and anybody who listens to the show knows that I am a very conservative guy.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a fan of the Democratic Party in any
Mhm.
way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Josh Shapiro is governing Pennsylvania much the way Bill Clinton
Mm-hmm.
governed the United States.
Okay.
And what I mean is he's seeking the right common ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's done some really good things for Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
But I saw him put up a post on Threads where instead of talking about the progress he's made and the things that he thinks should be done,
Mm-hmm.
he just went on a Trump bashing rant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, that does nothing.
Mhm.
You know? So don't tell me what's wrong with him. Tell me what you're going to do. Tell me what your ideas are. I want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So my question, and I had a guy jump on there
Mhm.
and start giving me, here, you know, I commented on him saying, I respect you because you used to stay above the fray.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you start going TDS like the rest of your party.
What's TDS?
Trump derangement syndrome, right? So this guy's like, well, maybe if he just disagrees, that's not a problem. No, disagreement is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Civil discourse is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, you said that you want to go out and you want to talk to people,
Mhm.
which is great. Are you a good listener?
I'm a great listener. I actually counsel people as well. I've counseled people. This is from years ago. But those things still stay with you. You know, I've
Right.
counseled. I was, not to get too deep into this, but I've done things. I've been a big brother. I did these things back in high school. Believe it or not, it was called peer counseling. It was this new thing that they did that I actually had to go through psychological training because they tried this thing where they thought peers would be better talking to other peers rather than a guidance counselor
Right.
or whatever. So we were trained to deal with things. We had dealt with everything from alcoholism to rapes to this and that. So I only say this because you asked me about listening. The key to those things is listening. And then being a business owner and, you know, things. So, you know, there are times when you need to kick ass, and then there's times, most of the time, you need to listen and you need to have patience. Okay? So I believe I'm a very good listener, but I also can give it to you now. And I'll say something now, not to pick a fight, but to have a conversation. The TDS, right? And I know what that was. I just wanted you to say it, you know. To me, you know, I don't say this to offend you. I say it in a general term. That's a bunch of crap to me. There's no derangement about someone who goes out there every day, speaks like a complete jackass, is a liar, and a convicted sex offender who today, in fact, after courts and courts and courts, finally said it's time to release the money. He admitted it, if you watch the things. And in fact, and after January 6th, there's no more, again, it's not about politics. I'm a conservative person too. Normally, I would vote more right than but it has nothing to do with politics. It's about morality and ethics. And when you have someone, it's not derangement talking about what an embarrassment it is. And again, you don't get that when you get Fox News. They'll just tell you it's Democrats and communism and it's this and it's that, everything. There's no solutions. It's just ranting like an imbecile. And he is the creator of, you own January 6th. You don't own freedom. You don't own January 4th. You don't own the flag. You own January 6th now. There should never be any point the man should have been impeached. If we had people that had spine, we wouldn't be in this situation. There'd be a different, I wish there was a Mitt Romney. I wish there was someone, but we're going down this path. And if you know your history and your documentation, when people say things like, fascism, this is what happened in the 30s in Germany. They're just accelerating instead of being 8 years after a coup, okay? And then Hitler comes in, wins after 8 years after a coup, and then dissolves the government and became what they were. We're just, and the propaganda machine is now public or a private, news company, and some of these things, it's just so dishonest. So the derangement, it's not derangement, it's this person does not conduct himself when he's supposed to represent us. And whether you voted for him or not, he's your representative. Have some fucking class.
Okay, stop that.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
Cut that.
But you know what I mean? Like, have some respect. And they have none. So then we wonder why people go, what is the matter with you? Like, what is the matter with you? And to me, that's not derangement. That's just saying, what is the matter with you people? If he would, but he's not capable of behaving. He's not. And he's at every opportunity. And it's just worse and worse. And again, the nonsense. And it's sitting there, okay, so we don't have money to, give kids snacks at lunch, but we got money to drain a pool and paint it and hire your pool guy to go do it. And
Obama did that same thing, right?
But
it was okay then.
I don't know about cleaning
okay,
pools. I don't know.
Well,
There's
I think we should
context to
play
all this,
Billionaire
but
Blues.
I think I have some middle ground here also, because I do agree with everything you're saying and how ridiculous of times we're living in right now. But I see what you're saying specifically because it was a government representative piling onto it. I think that's a major downfall of the Democratic Party right now. And just the state of the world in general is they're trying to make everyone anti-something. And now that politician is going so hard anti-Trump, trying to pull in anyone else who's anti-Trump right now. But it's not coming from a place of legitimacy. It's coming from a place of them trying to rally the troops in hatred versus here's what I'm doing, which is fair because
they're breeding hate.
They're trying to divide us.
No, I'm not.
It's
I'm
all
saying
they want to
It's
do.
not it's Republican Party as well. Like
it's
listen,
everyone.
Listen, you own January 6th. Period.
Yeah.
Period. People, there's no way around it. And
hard.
again, there's a
They're-
song on that record right about that. It's called The People's House.
Which one would you like us to play?
Let's go with Billionaire Blues because we'll keep it light and then we'll bring back to
We
this.
could do it back to back.
Sure, if you want. Go ahead.
Well, only because
All right, you got them?
Okay, let's do that.
You have them?
I do.
Claire,
I
back
do.
to back. All
All
right.
right.
If you're just
Back to
tuning
back.
in, this is Rock On Face the Nation with Carmen Sclafani and Danny Coleman and Madison and Claire and Sandra.
Just
And this is a song called Billionaire Blues.
Wake up in the morning to champagne and caviar. have a Japanese masseuse and a chauffeur for your car. Take a holiday vacation, turn bogeys into pals. Have a room with priceless paintings, collectible guitars. And times might be getting harder, but he don't have a care. He's a billionaire. Got a penthouse in the city, a super yacht anchored off the shore, a private plane with women that he flies in from Singapore. He all shares of an arena that armed security guard. Partnered some brand tequila where he the chairman of the board. $1 million watch, but not a second to spare. He's a billionaire. Money in a restaurant bar. Her daughter wears bikinis and is a social media star. A trophy wife gets polished on the living room floor. The prescription medication just ain't working no more. Things are getting crazy, but no one need be aware when you're a billionaire with a B, motherfucker. Smash the windows in the building if they don't open the door. The people of the house are unwelcome anymore. So tell those inside the chamber to get down on the floor. We're gonna hang the speaker, 'cause it's what we came here for. And if you don't mind, would you pardon me? And I turn blind is gonna set me free. And if you're inclined to turn the other cheek, will you justify when you fall asleep? Flipped the tables in the hallways, ripped the photos from the wall, smeared the blood in the doorways. When the officers fall, then we'll ransack the office and make off with a haul. Tear everything to pieces, because there's no one they can call. And if you don't mind, would you pardon me? And I turn blind is gonna set me free. If you're inclined to turn the other cheek, will you justify it when you fall asleep? And if you don't mind, would you pardon me? And I turn blind is gonna set me free. And if you're inclined to turn the other cheek, will you justify when you fall asleep?
There we go, Carmen Sclafani, Wiser Time Music. The album is called.
There's a change a coming.
There you go. And we finished our spirited discussion during
Off air.
those tunes.
That's right.
This is, like I just said to Carmen, why I don't talk religion or politics. But I want everybody who's listening to notice, okay? Even though I may or may not have agreed with a lot of what Carmen just said, that's his opinion. I respect it. We were talking, right, beer muscles, keyboard muscles. Back in the day, we would have wound up throwing fists at each other.
We still may.
But-
you never know.
That's when Madison got the video. We got to do that. But you know,
All you have to do is turn his picture around.
but you know, this show is more than 17 years old,
Mhm.
and you've been on it 3 times.
Mhm.
You were on it back when on the AM station.
Yeah, I
So that was
appreciate
the
you
first
having me.
3 years. You were on it several years back, and now you're on it again. And you know, over that, you know that I love you to death.
Yeah, and I love you too, Dan. I
and
love you too. You're a beautiful human.
No
Love
matter
heals
what,
all.
no matter what each of us thinks, that's not going to change.
Mhm.
And I think that's a lot of the problem in the world today, that people all of a sudden they just forget that other people have a difference of opinion, and that doesn't mean you have to hate, but it does. That's what's going on currently, and hopefully this album addresses either pro or con those situations.
Well, I think it addresses it all. Like I said, I mean, there's the finger pointing, there's talking about things to make people uncomfortable, but then there's love. Because again, that's what it is about, man. You know, if we want to solve problems, we can, but we don't collectively want to, you know. And if we were, in truth, as we're pushing Christian nationalism, if we were truly behaved like Christians that we were taught, we wouldn't have these problems. We would be able to solve them in a humane and decent and loving way. But when you abandon morals, that's, you know what I mean?
Which has been going on for a long time.
Again, but and now it's just completely, you know, and again, you cannot defend the indefensible, and I'm tired of it's just him, but it's not. It's it's not derangement to say this is a disgusting, despicable human. And there's AI and whatever, but then there's reality. And like I said, this record talks about the realities, not the this. I'm not making fun of anybody. I can't stand it when people, political on both sides, when it's the stupid jokes of like, hey, somebody did this, somebody did, like, it doesn't accomplish anything. There's no wins when we go, look at this guy and the orange orangutan or the ape or the whatever, again, it doesn't do anything except breed anger, doesn't solve anything, so, and that's how, your morals, that's how you were raised, so I'm just, like I said, I'm in that place where I'm just calling it out.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there because I have friends. I know how they were raised, and they've gone the total other direction. And
people are in these echo chambers. It really is the internet because
that's it.
My grandparents don't hate people, but they're watching Fox News and they're seeing very different Facebook reels than me. And they just they think that is the truth.
Of
and
course.
Especially people with less media, internet literacy, like older people, they're just seeing these perpetuated headlines and they're like, oh, well, that's awful.
We're getting taken over.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
the algorithms
It's sad.
are basically catered to ourselves.
Exactly.
We create our own
And
algorithm. So the more rabbit holes or sections you go to, the more you're going to echo, but it's going to echo
Yeah.
back to you what
And now
you
you
want to
think
see.
that's the whole world.
And
but
even
it's not.
beyond just because there are the algorithms, of course, but there's also, again, the human element that says, do we really want to be educated? Because part of that information silo is, I don't like what this person said. Get rid of it and let me find somebody that expresses what I want to say. So we don't look to gain information necessarily. We look to reinforce what we already believe. And that's, again, one of the problems with the internet and misinformation. And, again, there's no easy way out of it. It's just self-education. And, again, more and more, I think we need to rely on our value. Whatever your religion is, there is no... I don't believe, you believe what you believe, and that's it. And I don't care who your God is. I care how you behave, how you treat fellow men. And all of the religions, anyone, they all center around the same thing, and it's values and how to live your life.
The golden rule.
That's it. And most people, I would even challenge them and say the reason why they have their religion, it's not because they searched it out. They were indoctrinated by their own families of how they were raised. I was raised to be a Catholic. I went through everything it is. That's where my faith foundation begins, but it doesn't end there. I've traveled around the world. I know people that are Hindu, that are Muslim, that are Jewish, that are, and they're good people. And I know people that are all religions and Christians that are terrible people. Like, it has nothing to do with how you, if you truly practice value, like whatever they come, you'll learn that they all come from the same place, whether it's the Bible or Marcus Aurelius.
Well,
Go
even
read 12 meditations. Okay?
Well-
That's as important of a than the Bible. It's as important in a book that shaped my morals as much as any other piece of literature I've ever read was that book.
That book changed my life last summer. Legitimately put me on an entirely new
Absolutely.
path. It's insane.
Absolutely.
Well, even Mother Teresa said that. She said, you go home and be the best Muslim. You go the best Hindu you can. You live to the best of your faith. I mean, also she would be killed for proselytizing in India, but but that was her ideas. Go be and do and live what you are saying.
That's
you
it.
should
Live
live.
it. Again, there's one thing to speak it. There's another thing to walk it. And like I said, I'm calling some things out. And Danny, as you said to me earlier, no matter what if you take the time to listen to this record, no matter what you take from it, I just hope there was a cat, I can't believe I can't forget Grant. I'm forgetting Grant Britt, who did a great review, a wonderful writer out in North Carolina. And he summed up the review of the record. He said, this isn't a protest record or a manifesto or anything like that. It's a lantern being held up for people to kind of find their way a little bit. And I thanked him. I reached out to him and said, man, I really, again, I thank you for that, because, again, it doesn't matter. There's going to be people that are offended. There's going to be people that are like right on. Then there's going to be people on certain songs that are just going to take it in and go, that's a beautiful song. Like when we get to I Will Walk You Home or something like that. Like it's a beautiful song. It has no political thing. It's about love. And again, like I said, that's how I want to leave it. I start off the record, with a song about faith coming right at you, the Christian world coming right at you. And then I end the record with love. And like I said, I just hope people look, like I said, there's some people that have sent me hate messages. There's some people that have sent me love messages. And then there's some people that I know where they're voting. But again, there's so many good, wonderful, beautiful people that just are misinformed and completely lost because of, again, there's certain things you can't look back anymore. Again, you own January 6th. You own being convicted. You own these things. And I don't want to keep harping on them, but that's what the record, talks about so much. And then, like I said, I just want to leave it with love, because at the end of the day, like you said, we're not going to accomplish things beating each other up. And, there's a moment sometimes when people need to duke it out or whatever, but you have to come to, find, again, where your morals lie and be a decent human. If we can do that, we can solve so many things. But if all we want to do is just fight each other, and when there's a good solution, you go, nope, if it came from that guy, I don't want to do it. If it came from this woman, nope, can't do it. Like, find solutions. And the fact that we're just so extreme, we have to find a way, or else we don't have we're not governing. We're not governing anymore. It's just a mess. And it's just like I said, to quote Grant, I just hope people see it as a lantern. And maybe if there's a couple of people out there that after hearing this record go, maybe I should open my mind. Maybe I'm not going to burn in hell because I didn't vote, Republic or whatever. Maybe I can just try to find someone who isn't so. There are decent people out there who you got to play the game. It is what it is, okay? But there are decent people out there, and fighting have to play the game and then get caught up in all of the just make money. But, there's certain people that I just cannot, on both sides, that I will not tolerate any. I can't. It's just too much. And that's, again, what I made this record for, is just, I hope it's a bit of a lantern. And that's it. And what comes of it, comes of it.
Websites again, how do they find it?
wisertimemusic.com. And you could find me Instagram, Facebook, YouTube at wisertimemusic.
All right, want to do another tune?
Sure.
What
How many more do we have?
What do we got, Claire? About 20?
We have Barabbas, Cold Hard World, and
Let's
If You Never See Me Again.
Let's do that one. Let's do If You Never See Me Again. That'll be a good one.
All right, you want to preface this in any way, or?
Well, like I said, this was, like I said, in the order of writing the songs for the record. This was the fourth song I wrote. The fifth song that I wrote. I wrote it. A dear friend and companion of mine lives in California. And
Liz.
Yeah. And
I remember Liz.
no, who?
Liz.
Liz
in California. Isn't that what you just said?
No, lives.
Oh, lives in California. I'm sorry. No, I remember, but the last time you were on, you told the story about, yes.
Because
so
she
go
was part of, on some of the songs for the
For
last
the
record.
last record, yeah.
And then she had to move, for her career. But, she was out there. The wildfires were hitting. Everything was just, devastating. And it's actually, that's what, well, I'll give you a longer story of it. I had been, I did some music for a film, I don't know, maybe it was 6 or, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, something like that. So the people that were doing the film said, you know what, you have this look. Can we use you in the film? I said, yeah, as long as you pay, I'm getting, whatever. So they flew me out to California to be, I was like the bar musician at this inn. So I was essentially playing the song, even though it was a recorded thing, I was, playing it in the film or whatever. And I was out there, and a director friend of mine, wasn't on the film, who just happens to live out there. His name is Mark Islam. Mark knew I was going to be out there, and he called me up, and he said, hey, man, I want to take you to this event that I'm going to. Some friends of mine are doing this thing down at this club in L.A., and it was Benmont Tench, who, if you don't know who he is, the
Tom
people who are playing for
Petty,
Tom Petty, fabulous. So we had this beautiful night down in, with Benmont and at this gig, and it was just fabulous. And I don't even know if I could talk about this, but I'll just say it because it is legal now. But at the time, I just want to go have a smoke at the end of the night. And I flew out here, and I didn't have anything. I said, I need to go get a smoke. He goes, I'm going to take you someplace, and I'll get you a smoke. So I'm sitting out on the balcony, and I'm on Americana Street in California, in wherever I was, like near Burbank or wherever I was. I don't recall, but I'm on Americana Street, playing my guitar. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm just up and doing my thing, and there's a Target truck, loading up whatever.
Right.
And so I wrote this poem that would eventually, that's often how I write. If I play music, I usually write riffs and whatever, but then I write, just write, and then from there I'll typically turn writing in, wordsmith.
Put it all
turn into a
together.
song,
Yeah.
So I had this poem just kind of sitting there. And then, like I said, during this writing process, it was many years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years, whatever it was, that I had written that. It just worked because my head was in California because of the wildfires and everything that was going on. I was thinking of my partner out there and everything. And that lyric, that poem that I wrote, I just used it for the whole first section, and then I wrote the rest of the song, the chorus and everything, and and that's how it came about. And the second part of the lyrics were about the wildfires and tariffs and things that were gonna come, and so that's the story behind that song. It was kind of took a few years to come, but I was real pleased with it when it was done.
All right, so. Here is
If
Wiser
You Never
Time
See Me
music.
Again.
There you go.
These streets are filled with broken hearts, strewn shattered dreams and some brand new starts. Driving up and down, I see the heads down. There's a Target truck trying to park out on Americana Street as dusk fades into the dark. And I can't sleep, but soon I'll have to go. Find the will and do the best I can. Just trying to hold on to something sacred. And if you never see me again, take care, my friend. I know a woman with a house on a hill. Then the fires blaze steady and tariffs raise the bill. There's no time to cry, tensions run high. And as the darkness creeps out on the edge of town, where the lost souls pray for a hope that's seldom found, and they can't find any peace of mind. Find the will and do the best I can. Just trying to hold on to something secret. And if you never see me again, take care, my friend. I hope that one day you will understand. I'm just trying to hold on to something secret. And if our road has come to the end, take care, my friend. Take care, my friend.
There we go. Wiser Time music. Mr. Carmen Sclafani here in studio with his impassioned new project.
But I love your music.
Thank you.
I just love your music. You know what I mean? Just
Thank you.
It has such a nice, just has a nice feel to it.
Well, thank you.
It's
I
kinda
really
like
appreciate
a
that.
Dan Fogelberg, or like it has just the way I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate
Forget-
that very much.
Regardless, because I'm not really listening to the words right now because
Uh-huh.
we're talking, but I'm like, it just has a nice quality to it.
Thank you. I on that particular song, like I said, that's about loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's about relationships ending. It's about saying, I think I don't want to be around this person anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting anything out of this relationship, and it's time to just, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you never see me again, my friend, it's okay. Be good. Take care. But this is the time when one goes left and one goes. I don't mean that politically. I just
Right.
mean
Mhm. Yeah.
the road is now
Mhm.
divides, and we are no longer walking parallel.
Now the human psyche,
Mm-hmm.
when like what you just said, the relationship isn't working. It's time to go
Mm-hmm.
one way, and then somebody goes the other. So many times you'll see, and it doesn't have to be a marriage or a relationship or whatever it may or may not be. But so many times when something isn't working, you'll see somebody do anything to stick it out out of fear. Fear that, well, if I let this walk away,
The unknown.
the fear of the unknown, which is what stops 99.9% of us from achieving the things we want out of life.
I agree. And to that point, if I may just interrupt for a second,
Mm.
because this is something I've always tried to be. I'm not saying I've succeeded at it, but it's something I've always tried to be and inspire others to do. I think in everyone's life, at various times or another, life presents us with moments of real courage. And it's that same thing, like you said. Often we don't make the courageous step because we're afraid, you know, the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't, you know.
Right.
And I've always tried to be one of those people and tell people, you know, again, everyone's going to be your friend when it's nice and everything's good. You find out who your friends are when you're in the dirt. That's when you find out who are going to be the people to lift you up and carry you. No judgment, no whatever. Just pick you up and help yourself, you know. And in those few moments in our lives, a breakup, it's a bankruptcy, whatever these things are that we are shattered, if you help someone, they will never forget you. You know, they will never, like your fourth grade teacher or whatever it was, especially when you're down, because you're going to realize in those moments, like, that's when you find out who your real friends are. It's not when it's good, it's when it's down. And because there will usually be not a lot of people, oh, sorry, I can't, or what, you know, you'll never forget that person who was there for you when you said, I was in this, whatever it was, and who was there? That person, even if you don't, again, if something happens and you break apart or whatever, but you'll never forget that impact that they had on you. And so to the point, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's, you know, in those moments of courage, I've always tried to be someone that, at least, again, like I said, footprints. I will hold you up. I will help you. I can't carry you, you know. I can hold you up for a little while until, you know, you get through it.
I had already queued that song up.
Oh, good.
I think we should play that.
No, that's kind of you know, you did this album based on what you feel is the lack of ethics and morals and everything else. And it's really kind of Thought Train just totally derailed.
Yes,
Producer.
okay.
It's because I'm supposed to play this song. I will walk you home.
How much time do we have left?
Time enough to play the song. It's 12 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine. You
So,
do that, and I'll
And you get your train back in.
and I'll try
in
to
the
get the Thought
station.
Train back onto the
Exactly,
track.
while
It was
we
something
play
that he
this.
just said that's just totally.
About courage? Helping someone?
Let me play the song,
Okay.
and we'll trigger your memory.
No, you won't.
I will. Here it is.
Let me whisper in your ear, my dear, reassure you that there's nothing you should fear. From time to time we all get lost out here, but just remember it was love that made you appear. If you're scared and feeling alone, I will walk you home. And I can take your hand and show you there. If you're thirsty, be the water that fills your glass. When you're tired and feel you no longer can, be the footprints pressed beneath you, gentle in the sand. When you're scared and feeling alone, I will walk you home. I will be the moon above that lights the night sky. Feel the source if your river should run dry. Reveal the sunlight in the morning as you rise. Be the tears when you finally say goodbye. And when you're scared and ready to go, I will walk you home.
There you go.
So pretty.
Thank you.
Love
That
that.
song was called
I Will Walk You Home.
I Will Walk You Home.
With
Wiser
harmonica at the
Time
end
Music.
by
James Dalton. Asbury
Pat.
Park.
J. Pat.
J-Pat.
J. Pat. I've known James for 17 years now.
Beautiful human.
And, yeah, which shocks me because I saw something that he said today that really, I almost unfriended him.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so
Well, he played on.
I love the guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the guy. Him and I go way back, and we've always been nothing but straight with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the last couple of years, he's reached out to me about the Blues Challenge,
Which is
the International Blues Challenge, which up until last year, so 2 years ago was the last one. The Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation conducts an International Blues Challenge, preliminary. If you win your Jazz and Blues Foundation Blues Challenge, you get to go to Memphis to compete in the true International Blues Challenge. And like one year they had the panel that voted was Jack Daly and Mark Swirsky
okay.
from Dug Deep, with Deborah. God, what was Deborah's last name? Conklin. She's in a blues band out of Philly. Another year they had, I can't remember who the judges were, but they're radio personalities, media people, things like that. And James has always been involved. They have a solo category, and then they have a band category.
Okay, interesting.
And James had won the one year, and he couldn't go because he got COVID.
Oh no.
And every year since, he reaches out to me, how do I get involved, or are you running it this year? And I've had to disappoint him and tell him no. I don't even. And last year they didn't even have one because they had no interest. So, but this year, I've heard rumors that may happen. There may be another one this year. So this year when he calls me, if he calls, I won't disappoint
He's playing
him.
on Friday. He's playing on Friday at the cinema in Asbury. If you want to see him.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, good. She's telling me we got
5.
normally when she
You've
waves.
got 5 fingers.
When she waves, it's just one, but she gave me 5 that time. See.
No, I don't. Not very often.
So are you going out? I mean, you said you're going to Nashville and Knoxville in
I got a few things
September.
lined up. Mostly what I've been doing now are lining up radio ads and radio interviews. Even that's the things I'm doing. Although I'm going to be performing down at the Americana Fest at the Basement. Although the date, I think it's going to be the 15th or 16th of September. I'll be down at the Basement in Nashville. And then on the 17th, I'll be down at the Blue Plate Special performing that on the 17th. And then I'll be down at WDVR.
Are you going to see Andy?
Andy, I'll be down there. They've been playing the record, the folk fusion show. You know, so there's been bunch of radio stations that have been picking up the record. So, like I said, while I will look to perform, I've been focusing more on things like this that are more radio talk. But I'll be performing in New Hope in I think October it is, and just again lining up a bunch of stuff.
Where you at New Hope?
Carrie's Music Room.
Okay, in the New Hope Inn.
Yep.
That's the scene of the incident with Madison and I can't
Oh,
talk
yeah?
about
A segue into that. I'll be there on the 24th, I think, of October. So just lining stuff up, and like I said, focusing, even things like, again, getting on playlists or what, so just working on this kind of stuff, just getting a format out there. I'll play certain things, and they will be coming through, but just like I said, opportunities to go out there and talk until I'm ready to.
Now, you've done how many records over your career, Carl?
Just for me?
Right. I have Beggars and Thieves,
Okay.
and I have your last one,
Okay.
and now
All
I have
fired
this one.
So, well, let me think here now. I have a number of singles too, but I have some 60 or 70 recorded songs, and I guess 5 or 6 full albums. Let me think. I had There and Back Again, All for One, Beggars and Thieves. Then I did my Worlds Collide EP. Some singles are mixed in there as well. And then I did All Fired Up last year. Or no, then I did Within, excuse me. I did that one in 2017. Then I did Worlds Collide. So, I got, 5 or 6 records and a bunch of singles scattered in there. No.
And with this one, you went in a different direction.
As a full record.
Right.
I've always had these little songs in there, or acoustic, folky kind of things, but never in a full record.
Never a full,
I always
right.
Beggars and Thieves, the record that you have, which actually charted on the Americana charts, which was amazing. I'm not I don't have the budget. It just it worked. But that's as Americana, I guess, of a full record. But it's still got a lot of good rock song, rocker, southerny rock songs in there. This is the first real acoustic-ish record.
And by far, this is the most passionate I've seen you about any of your projects.
Mm-hmm. I would say that too.
So, how do you follow it up?
It's a good question. I don't know. I know.
That's a good answer.
It created, like I said, if you'd asked me a year ago if I would be coming here talking about this record, I wouldn't have said that because, and also, I'm a very prolific writer. So I have enough material right now if I wanted to, cobble together, an EP or I could do that and have it relative. I couldn't have it recorded right now because it would just take time, studio thing, whatever. But I already have a few songs. The next record is not going to be a folkish record. It's going to be a rock record. It may be heavy. It may be content, but it's going to be a rock record with a lot of riffs. It's already kind of percolating.
Excellent. Websites and everything again?
WiserTimeMusic.com, WiserTimeMusic on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and it's WiserTimeMusic.com. I almost forgot how to spell music.
M-O-U-S-C.
I know how to play it. But not spell it.
Well, I got to wrap it up. Thank you, man.
Thank
for
you
making
for
the
having
trip.
me always.
It is always a pleasure to be in your company, sir.
Thank you.
Always is.
And likewise. Likewise.
It was nice to meet you, Sandra. And Madison, you have anything you need to say?
Nope, nothing much.
Nope.
Spread love.
Love.
Yeah. Amen.
And
Not
rum.
germs.
That too.
Love and
Amen.
rum.
Amen.
That was the incident.
Only legally.
All
soon.
right.
Very soon.
Right?
Soon
Producer
enough.
Claire, you have anything you want to say?
Next week, we have Amy. Do we have Amy next week?
No.
Okay. Well, we will.
I don't know. That's
Okay.
all up in the air.
Okay.
But
We will find out next week.
once again, Carmen Sclafani, Wiser Time Records. The album is called.
There's a change a coming.
Look for it on.
Anywhere you buy, anywhere you stream records, you'll find it.
There you go. All right, my friend.
Thank you for
very
having
much.
me. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Claire. Thank
So-
you, Madison.
Until next week.